Profitable practices. Farm solutions for people, profit, and the planet on Real Agriculture is brought to you by Farm Credit Canada and RBC Royal Bank.
Hi, I'm Bernard Tobin. Welcome to Profitable Practices. Today we're heading just north of Abbotsford, British Columbia to visit Van Belle Nursery. On this episode, Real Ag reporter Nick Syke sits down with Dave Van Belle to discuss how lean efficiency principles, water management, and electric vehicles make this nursery more efficient, profitable, and sustainable. Check it out.
Dave Van Belle, how are you doing today?
Really well. How about you?
I'm wonderful, wonderful. Thanks for taking some time with us today.
You're so welcome.
Where are we sitting right now?
We're sitting in the place we call the Glass Garden, which is on site of our Young Plants farm, and we use this as a training room many times. That's part of my house, part of farming. We're all in, and we're actually, and this Glass Garden is part of our show garden. So we have a show garden out here for our customers to come and see the newest plants that we grow.
Right, and quite a number of varieties that I'm seeing around here too.
Yeah, we grow on this nursery. We grow thousands of varieties of plants, and in our show garden we have, I'd say, hundreds of different types.
So the reason we're here today is we're talking about sustainability, and we're talking about it as it relates to return on investment. Now, I think a lot of people in agriculture, when they think about sustainability or green initiatives, they're thinking about things that cost them more, that have a negative impact on ROI. That doesn't seem to be the case here at Van Belle. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Well, sustainability is a kind of a word that can have many meanings. And one way I like to think of it is not just environmental sustainability, but what about economic sustainability? So the things that we do here, we like, if it's not going to have an economic payoff in the long term, I don't know if it really is sustainable. So to be environmentally sustainable, it needs to be economically sustainable. So that's kind of my frame of reference, my starting point from the very beginning. So we've done quite a few initiatives here at this nursery, which I believe are better for the environment and better for our customers and better for us and save us money at the same time.
So in a business like this, when we're talking, a variety of different plants, indoor growing, outdoor growing, what do you tackle with your integrated pest management system, and how does that kind of play into the sustainability question?
It's a lot more difficult to implement an integrated pest management process because, for example, if you use chemicals and if you have a bug problem, you just go blast into a pile of chemicals and kill everything. Well, it's very easy and effective. However, as it turns out, if we use integrated pest management, we find that we are, not only do we save money, you can actually save money, but it's better for the workers, it's better for the environment. You have no re-entry time into the greenhouse, so you can turn your crops over quicker by having access to them faster, so there's no re-entry time limits. And you can actually save money because chemicals are getting more expensive as well. And I think it's also good for worker satisfaction. We have employees who can take pride, staff who take pride in their work. They grew those plants in a sustainable manner. It's good for the earth, and it's also good for the pocketbook. However, it's a bit more tricky because it's more management intensive. But it leads to more jobs, and it's, I think, just a better overall way to do it. And we're committed to keeping on going and to reducing our chemical use the best we can.
Gotcha. Now, water use is always something as well that we consider when we're growing in this kind of system. Tell me a little bit about your water recapture system. It sounds very interesting.
Yep. So water recapture is very important, even in British Columbia. Even though it rains all the time, we actually do have a water scarcity situation here too. So what we've done in our farm, if we have got 10 water recapture tanks. Those tanks hold 1 million liters of water each, some bigger, some smaller. And the water that we have on all farms, it all drains into those tanks. Any excess water we don't need gets treated and released off the property. But in those tanks, we treat that water and we reuse it. So almost everything, we try to make it as closed a loop as possible to keep the water that we have and just reuse it over and over. And by and large, it's been very successful. On our one farm, we have almost 100% exclusively rainwater only. So that's been just in just a couple months in the summer. If it's really, really dry, we have to draw water out of a local creek. But even that gets recycled and reused.
Right.
So
this is quite a large operation too, which means that in the facility there you've got a lot of implementation of vehicles, obviously, to move things around. And tell me about the efforts to utilize electric vehicles and how that's going.
Yep, we've used electric vehicles in our greenhouses for, I'd say, 6 or 7 years now, and those vehicles, we call them tuggers. They're there in the greenhouses because they have zero emissions, which is and we don't want to have emissions in the greenhouse for humans or for plants. So it's a bit of a necessity anyway, but it's also a very easy operational choice too, because at night you just plug them in, the charge lasts all day, and so we have electric forklifts. We're just getting 2 more actually this year. We have tuggers, and we're trying to minimize our outside movement of plants in general, but using those vehicles, it's been good for us.
That's fantastic. I mean, and the easier the better when it comes to things like that have such an economy of scale to them, right?
Yeah, that's right.
There you go. We've also very curious about the lean flow process. What is lean flow, and what was the implementation of that like, and how does that boost efficiency and reduce waste?
Well, the lean process in general is the idea of eliminating 7 types of waste. It could be rework, it could be excess inventory, it could be returns. There's 7 different types of waste. And so what we do is we implemented lean here on a project by project basis. And the reason we do that is to get more efficient. One of the things I like about lean in general, besides getting more efficient, which makes you more profitable, is it also empowers people. We need less supervisors and more training on the floor, which means people are more flexible, highly trained, and they're able to flex jobs much more easily, which means that we can accomplish our goals quicker with less people, which means we can actually pay more as well. So the output is higher efficiency, higher worker satisfaction, better profit by using lean. Eliminating waste in whichever forms it takes is always good for a company. And so we've been doing this for, I'd say, 20 years now, and we actually have a continuous improvement person on staff. It's that important for us. And what this fella can do is truly, I'm very grateful for the things that he's been able to do with our team to save money, save steps, save time, and make our business more profitable. We live in a high-cost jurisdiction, British Columbia. We're in Lower Mainland. It's very expensive here, but we're competing with nurseries that are far, far away, mostly in the States, that have much lower cost of operations. So we have to be much more efficient. And so lean is one tool that we use to help us stay ahead.
Another tool that I believe is proprietary to Van Belle is the FlowGo System. Is it packaging that it reduces?
Yeah, it's kind of an exciting thing. I don't know why more people don't do this, but if they don't, that's fine. Our competition does not do this, but many, many years ago, we decided to come up with, we're growing, let's say, 5 million plants a year that we're shipping out of this farm, on a young plants farm. So every year we'd have to buy 5 million pots, let's call it 10 cents a piece, $500,000. And you got to organize them, you got to invoice, you got to unload them off the truck, reload them. There's pots around, inventory, the whole thing. We decided to scrap that whole thing and come up with our own permanent, on-site proprietary tray. I've got it trademarked and industrial design patent on it as well. And what that means is that we are able to save a lot of money, and our customers benefit too for a couple reasons. One, the plants that we ship them don't have pots on them. Well, how can that be? Well, that means they have to be super well rooted. To do that, we have to grow our plants better, so our customers are getting a higher quality product. Our customers also do not receive 5 million plastic pots that they have to then dispose of. We're also not transporting 5 million pots. And then we've married that into our FlowGo box system, which we're very excited about because the box itself is not waxed, so it's fully recyclable, and yet it holds water. It's a bit of a miracle box. It's our little secret how we worked with the box company it took us 3 or 4 years to perfect that system. And so the net result is when our customer gets a truckload of plants, they can save on average between $5,000 to, I'd say, $7,000 between taking no labor of removing pots, cleaning up pots, disposing pots, paying for pots. The boxes get 100% recyclable. And then the way we designed it, it cubes in a truck perfectly. You cannot fit any more plants in that truck. There's about a ½ inch between pallets all the way down the truck. And we call them FlowGo because they're very visual. The boxes have cutouts so you can see exactly what's inside the box. So when the customer gets it, they can take it to the production line. They know immediately what's in the box because they can see it because it's open. They take the plant, they plant it. The box goes in recycling. There's no garbage. We would never even know we were there. So, and in the meantime, we're not spending all that money every single year on all those pots, and our customers aren't either. So it's been a real win. There's a good example of sustainability from an environmental point of view, but also from an economic point of view. It's been a real winner for our nursery. And the trick is, the more pots we do, it's harder for other nurseries to do this because it's getting more expensive. But we actually manufacture those trays right up the street, 2 miles from this nursery, so we don't even have to transport them very far. And it's been an all-around winner for us.
Well, that's fantastic. Speaking of customers there, if somebody was watching the video and was curious more about what Van Belle offers and maybe wants to become a customer, where could they find that information?
That's a great question. Love it. Thank you for asking. vanbelle.com. So we offer services to retailers and also to growers. So if you're a grower like another nursery or a garden center, please go to our website, vanbelle.com, and you can find everything that you need to find right there.